Hi, Mark Bunn here, and welcome to the 21-day Millionaire Mindset Challenge. Today we're going to be talking about your health and well-being, and I think you'll probably agree that we can have the best strategies in the world for being a better leader, managing teams, growing our business, managing our time, but unless we have really good health and well-being, most of those strategies really don't get implemented as well as they should be. So it's a great pleasure to be with you here today. We're actually in Fiji, which I think is really appropriate because the Fijians enjoy a really great level of health, in my opinion, not just in terms of physical health, which we generally think of in the West, but have that Eastern tradition of community and family and what I call emotional health. And I think when we look at the millionaire mindset, that's important. We look in business about millionaires and we think of wealth and financial assets. In terms of our health, what is it to have a millionaire's wealth in terms of our health? And I think for me it's about looking at the longest living, healthiest people on our planet, because they're the really wealthiest people in terms of their health. And so what I want to look at today is three really key areas around that millionaire mindset that you can develop throughout this challenge. Number one is about not worrying about calories, fats, antioxidants and all these things. If you actually look at the longest living, healthiest cultures on our planet and the time-tested 1,000-year-old traditions of healthcare, they know nothing about fats and calories and this antioxidant and this biochemical. They absolutely know nothing about it. What they understand is something far more important, and that is what we think in here, our mindset and our emotional health can actually change the biological pathways by which we process fat, sugar, cholesterol, salt. All the things we think are supposedly bad in our Western culture are actually processed or digested, transformed completely differently dependent on what we're thinking up here and what we're feeling in here. So my first challenge for you is to go throughout your life right at the present moment and to think of any significant stresses in your life, anything that's causing you any emotional pain or grief, and things that you can control. Because what we want to do is we want to try and eliminate or at least reduce anything of that nature. Because we all know, don't we, that you can be told what to eat, what the good diet is, fruit, vegetables, whatever the current fad is. You can be told to get up early and do exercise. But if there's a significant stress in your life, either in a relationship or at work or any other area of your life, generally you will not be able to maintain a good healthy lifestyle. You'll go for the junk foods, you couldn't be bothered exercising. However, when you address those issues and you're feeling really good inside yourself, you're on top of stress, relationships are good, what do? You are naturally motivated to eat better, to think better, to exercise, and to do what you need to have a millionaire's level of health and well-being. So that's your first challenge. Before you even consider about fats and calories and eating a good nutrition and diet and exercise, sleep, think about your emotional health. What's one really important thing you can do right now to improve some level of your emotional heart nourishment, so you actually feel better about yourself, so that you will be naturally motivated to want to have a healthier lifestyle. Number two is the understanding that it is not just what we eat. It's not just how much we exercise. It's not just how much sleep we get, how much water we drink. This is again a Western style state of understanding. What we want is to understand the ancient Eastern wisdoms again, and that is that it is when we do these things even more importantly. Interesting, being in Fiji now, there's what's called the Fiji Pro that was just on a couple of weeks ago, a big surfing event. And surfing is a great analogy for this that we've got to understand is part two of our challenge for you today. And that is, just as a wave on the ocean has a certain point where if you catch that wave, you get the timing right, everything flows. The wave does all the work and we just enjoy the ride. Our health and well-being is exactly the same. So challenge number two is to consider when you eat your main meal of the day. when you get your sleep, when you do your exercise. I will guarantee you that you can eat more calories than you currently do, and you can lose weight if that's what you want to do by eating those calories towards the middle of the day rather than at the end of the day when the sun has set. In Ayurvedic medicine, which is my Eastern training, they call it the laws of nature and the daily cycles that we're meant to live in tune with, in rhythm with. And this is what the Millionaire Mindset's about. Healthy, long-living people understand there's a flow and a rhythm to nature when we're designed to do different things at different times of the day. So, number one, a lighter breakfast. It doesn't have to be the most important meal of your day. Big, heavy breakfasts are not necessarily a good idea. Lunch should be the main meal of our day because that's when the sun is at its peak, which means our internal sun, the internal digestive fire, is also at its peak as understood for thousands of years. Little siesta if you've got the luxury, you're on holidays in the middle of the afternoon, but most importantly, at the end of the day, in addition to maybe looking at the sunset, which has great benefits emotionally and in terms of mood, just as watching the sunrise does first thing in the morning, as ancient cultures used to do sun gazing. As the sun sets, we eat a lighter, more easily digested meal so that we've largely digested that meal by the time we go to sleep. If you do that, lighter meals at night, rather than our big heavy meals that most of us eat in Western culture, you'll sleep so much better, you'll lose weight without doing anything more, you'll improve your mental clarity, and in terms of your business performance, your work performance, the rest of your life, you'll be better at decision making, you'll have more motivation, energy, every area of your life will even be improved, because every night you go to sleep for 6, 7 or 8 hours, your body's resources will be going to repairing the tissues, detoxing your liver, revitalizing your kidneys, having you in the perfect state the next morning for health and well-being, rather than simply having all the resources going here to try and digest the big heavy meal. Number 3, the final challenge, and it's one that I use because it links so beautifully into high-level work or business performance, and that is exercise. If we look at millionaires right around the world in terms of work and business, the Rupert Murdochs, the former Prime Minister of Australia, Johnny Howard, Richard Branson, females such as Janine Ellis, head of Boost Juice, Lorna Jane, head of the Lorna Jane business empire, they all religiously exercise and believe that exercise sets the foundation for their energy and performance for not only each day, but for their entire life. So challenge number 3, if you're not already doing it, is to get exercise or some activity as part of a regular daily routine. If you already exercise, I would suggest you try and move that to the early morning if you don't do it in the early morning. Early morning is in tune with the body's natural cycles, the Ayurvedic natural laws, and will set up the energy and performance for your entire day. If you already exercise and you already exercise in the early morning, my tip is that you begin to employ what's called nasal diaphragmatic breathing. Most people don't breathe properly when they exercise, but if we start to link these ancient yogic practices into Western activity and exercise, we can again transform the level of benefits we get from exercise. So there you go, it's been fabulous being with you today. I hope you're enjoying the Millionaire Mindset Challenge, and I really hope that you can establish some sense of health and well-being within that challenge, and hope the 3 key things today for you: not to worry too much about fats and calories, to really understand the importance of nourishing the emotions, being happy and doing things you love and enjoy. Secondly, when you eat, sleep, exercise and do different parts of your job. And thirdly, exercise. Put those 3 together and I'm sure you'll enjoy a millionaire's level of health and well-being. Thanks very much and enjoy the challenge.